How is it to deal with Flavio Briatore? I have to ask you that.
No, I've had limited interactions with him, but I speak Italian, so I spoke to him.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Despite having known you for so many years, you speak Italian.
yeah,
That's
when I was
incredible.
younger in karting and stuff. So we exchanged a few words in Italian, obviously with Ollie as well. I raced for Ollie in 2020 in British F3. I was actually going to take a year out that year, and he gave me the drive with high tech because we obviously lost all our funding because of COVID, and he helped me out there and gave me the whole year, and we did a decent year together. So I know Ollie really well. We have a very good relationship, and no, he's always there. So if I ever need something, I go and speak to him. And then obviously Julian and Jack, a part of the academy as well. They're with me the whole year, really around the paddock, and then keeping an eye on me and hopefully, and I mean, working towards not avoiding what happened last year.
But that's wonderful because it's been a mix of your performances in Formula Two, in the Formula One car, previous relationships, like you mentioned with Oliver Oakes and the likes, and everyone's believed that you're a lot better than what was actually shown in 2024, especially in the second half of that season. But lots of fans are eager to know how many races will you be attending with Alpine. I know there's a lot of overlap with the Formula One and Formula Two weekends, but how many races are you scheduled to attend just at the top of your head?
So obviously, all of the F2 races, I'll be going after my F2 weekend and spending time there. And as to after my F2, my 14 race commitment with F2, um, it's still under works, but obviously we have four reserve drivers, so everyone is obviously we don't need four reserve drivers every race, so that process is still happening on who goes where. But yeah, once I know, I'll definitely let you know, Kunal, straight away.
Thank you. Yeah. But you rightly pointed out you're the only active single seater racer amongst all the reserve drivers. So that's you're the busier one or busier of all the four reserve drivers that there are. But given that there's four of y'all, on one hand you all have to collaborate to help Alpine get quicker. On the other hand, you have to compete as well, right? Because all of y'all want that one or two cockpits or whenever that opens, but it is four drivers or six drivers vying for those two cockpits. So what's your equation, say, with the other drivers? I know you and Jack are very good friends, for example, but what's your equation with all the drivers in Alpine Formula One team?
No, I think I've met Rio like a couple times. He seems very down to earth and nice. Frank, obviously I raced with him in F2 and even in F3. And Paul, I raced in F2 last year. But no, I feel in a way I'm kind of lucky to still be racing and being fresh. And obviously results are very important. But let's say I do get the results, then I've been in the car this year and I've started races and I've known how that felt because that's a big thing. So um, yeah, I just need to do my job, and I'm just glad to be racing still and keeping fresh and keeping sharp. That's the most important thing.
But in general, I believe you all still have to be friends. You all still have to be people who get along because that's where the team spirit also lies. I guess the competition comes in only when you all are in the cockpit, if that's a way to sort of put it. And let's hence then expand into how are you all distributing the roles. Like, what are you exactly going to do along with a TPC test or a couple of TPC tests that you have planned? You said simulator sessions, any depth that we can go into. How many, do you know when you're going to do a TPC test next?
That's yet to be decided, but there will be. I'll be doing obviously a lot of stuff on the sim as well, but in the TPC stuff as well, trying stuff for the race team, giving my feedback as a driver, and just being with the team on the races as well. Every like the 14 weekends, I am just going and hanging out with the engineers, building a relationship on that side as well. And yeah, it's mostly you know contracts like this, which is an F1 contract really, in an F1 team is very, very dependable on how you perform. In the end, like a door can shut if you don't perform well, but if you do perform well, let's say halfway through the season, 10 doors will open. Sort of like a role like a reserve driver is like you're just outside that door, and the more you perform, the more that door creaks open. And so it all depends really on how I perform and how I do. And that's completely understandable. F1's very competitive, and the teams want the best, so you've got to show that you are.
Absolutely.